Hello everyone, welcome to the chill stream. This will be a nice little vibing one, so I intend to be mostly just relaxing, to be completely honest, and just doing whatever I feel like. So I don't expect anything, excuse me, high level content or anything like that, but expect some dailies and just having a nice little talk. That's kind of what I feel like at this point. It's been about a week this week, though, I think, so far. I had a nice little collab recently with Tiger and a few others. I need to put my phone notifications on mute. But yeah, sorry, I'm just doing too many things at once there. But yeah, I need to stop looking at too many things at once. Showing a fate. Not level 6 one anyway. I'll tell you what, we'll start having a little search for anything. Just I'll look at that in a second. But I'll start looking at some things just to get the search on. I'll go with the normal raid. I have to pick it first. That'd be a good start, wouldn't it? But yeah. So, as I say, this week I think has been honestly a good bit better than last week, certainly. I suppose it kind of helps with the fact that, well, for one, I feel that not having out of hours to deal with is certainly preferable. Let me just check that my voice is coming through real quick. Sorry, folks. Let me just make absolutely certain. There we go, that's better. Right. I was worried there for a brief second my voice wasn't coming through. I don't know why. Paranoia. I've had so many random issues in the past that got me all worrying about it, but no. But as I was saying, things have been just generally chiller. I've been looking for ways of just getting better at doing this, honestly. Now, hopefully, over time, I'm going to start getting better and better at it. Like anything, right? You got to suck first to get better. That's a philosophy I've taken quite heartily in. And to be entirely honest, it's been a interesting bit of discovery in a way. It's been I guess the best way to describe it. I'll try to stay around this area so the music plays. Maybe I'll swap in the jazz if it does stop randomly. But yeah, it's been a nice little discovery to just really sit down and think about why am I doing this, and how do I want to do this? How do I want to, sort of make my content, and what kind of things do I want to do? These are all questions that were always going to come up, right? They were always going to, always, there were things that just were going to happen, right? Because, of course, they were. And I think I recently had to look at a couple of potential hard truths. I mean, for example, I'm a guy with a female feature model. It's a niche from the niche, as I've heard it described, but, there's a small part of me that thinks, is that a mountain I want to climb? I feel like it is, because I think you grow through adversity to a point, and I think I can deal with this adversity in the sense of, okay, some people might not like it. Okay, that's fine. But then some people might be completely fine with it and might somehow like me. And, well, hey, that's someone who's got through the filter, in a way. In a random way of it. I guess you could say it's, it might filter a few, but there are probably quite a few. That's okay. Because I'd like to think that, you know, once people know me a bit better, I could hopefully convince them why they should stay. Hopefully, anyway. I mean, streaming's been an interesting process, right? It's been a lot of... Ooh, this one. It's been a lot of, you know, trial and error, right? It's been a real game of figuring out what stuff I like doing like this, because obviously... I love the samurai time. Just watching the mechanics. I don't remember this one being that. Oh, this the makes environmental thing, doesn't it? Oh. Well, hit him with a bit of this. God, I've forgotten how much I like Untitled Samurai. Yeah, as I say, this is gonna be a lot of me doing dailies, sort of sussing out, just unpicking the week a bit, I guess. Oh, okay. Might be. God, he does that. Oh, I really messed up that. Yeah, I say chill stream. Doing dailies is pretty chill. I know you, right? Like, it's not like it's the hardest content ever. This level stuff. There's a bit more complexity to it, sure, but I'd argue it's not that bad. Oh, what do you want? I got the red sticker. Nice. This one. Oh. God. Oh yeah, lightning, water, yeah, no. Oh. Ah, okay. Something there. Let's actually try and get more to the centre so we don't end up... Got a bit of health back first before I use my barrier. There we go. This. It's been a while since I've done this one, so I've forgotten a lot of the minutiae of it. But well, yeah, just relearning the process. Plus, it feels like it's been a long time since I've played High Level Samurai. How did I dodge that? That felt like it probably should have hit me in all retrospect, but hey. Oh, come on. God, I've been very bad at this one. Do I have my arm's length? Yeah, I need to use that more. I haven't run into this much trouble with him before, but then I guess it's one of them, isn't it? There we go. Yeah. Got to refigure out the mechanics of this. It's been an absolute age since I played this particular raid. He's going to do all an absolutely unique with his own effects. Who was the sage? You. Absolutely, I'm giving you that because you carried my ass a bit there while I was being kind of bad. Yeah. As I say, week's been... I keep going back to the week and honestly, my head is just not with it today. I was going to do a potentially an edited video today, but I must admit, I kind of got sidetracked in just sort of doing a bit of research, you know. I received a bit of feedback that I should probably look at my thumbnails a bit more, for one, but also the shorts. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure about shorts now. Clips on Twitch are fine, but I wonder if using YouTube for the shorts, at least without having a shorts channel already existing, is a good idea. What I'm thinking is the shorts could be potentially a bit harmful to analytics, potentially, in that, essentially, imagine you pull an audience that likes quick, snappy content, right? Okay, but then you do an hour-long video discussing VTube culture, right? Or the rise and fall of a certain VTuber, or maybe something narrative like I've been toying with the idea of writing, obviously, you know, making a video about the sort of the various points of grimdark settings because I'm a big fan of them, but I want to kind of do an objective look at them and, you know, what's effective with them, what isn't. I'm no writer, but I am a DM, and I'm quite experienced with grimdark settings to the point where I feel like I could reasonably, you know, talk about them, and, you know, really probably discuss the finer points, and all that, really. Excuse me. But I think it's something I might still do, but I just don't know how to quite write the script. I've sort of used a couple of just, I guess, like, just looked at the various videos, or I've maybe just looked at, like, okay, what have people maybe done, or even just sort of, you know, looked at a little perusal through other people's discussions of it, really. Not to copy necessarily, but to look at, well, what points do people bring up, and what points maybe don't need to be brought up, and how do they bring up those points, you know, mostly just to learn, like, just, it sounds pretty simple to anyone who's done video essays, but I've done video essays, and I find script writing very hard, honestly. I I do find it very difficult to yeah, it's something on my mind, and I think to myself, well, hey, maybe it's something I could look into. I think I've got the audio set up now to the point where it's a lot smoother. At least I hope that's the case anyway. This new Shure mic, which I've moved a lot closer to my mouth nowadays, has been, I think anyway, just adjusting it slightly there, I think it's been quite a beneficial addition to this, because the way I see it, you know, it's something helpful, right? Is it cheap? No. But I think if you enjoy something, put in money into it, and money into something that's going to be worth it, and this thing is definitely worth it to me. My voice sounds a lot smoother, and it's picking up way less of that tinny sound I had before, which is good. I think the fact it's closer to me now as well is far better. It was a bit of a fiddle to get it this close, but honestly, it's worth it. But I think it might make doing those edited videos easier. I just need to find better ways of doing it. There's also a small part of me that's putting off the idea of maybe splitting up, like, it's got my VODs on one channel, but whether I take out the edited content from that channel, move it over to a different channel, to be like kind of the main channel where I do edited content. I really should, because it's better algorithmically speaking, but also it might be better in general. I've looked into it, and it doesn't look like it's that hard to do, actually. I was, and this is probably just anxiety talking, but I was really panicking about, oh, is this going to be a pain in the arse? You know, and, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think, you know, really I should just do it. So, maybe before my next video's out, I might start a new channel. I might make kind of like Baronzar Cabrel VT or something like that, or Baronzar VT, I don't know. Some main channel-y. But, you know, it's one of them things. It is what it is, but... Sorry, I'm sort of rambling on, but I guess point of the stream, right? Just trailer thought it, because I think this has been a nice way to actually like get stuff off my mind. Because God knows I've really just had a lot on my head recently, so I think this being a nice little way just to get it all out there, get it all fresh in, not have anything more bottled up in my mind. That's the idea, anyway. But, you know, it's, I think it's one of them little things. I need to not click on things, and I'm not actually... God damn it. There we go. I keep forgetting that 14 does not like it when you click outside of the tab, so that's my beat. There we go. Interrupting the nice little holiday music. It's not a normal raid. An alliance raid should be quite nice. A lot of them are pretty brain dead, except for the newest ones. Those ones are much less brain dead, admittedly. Honestly, it's surprising enough a DPS is so wanted. Oh, well, that's just rude. Yeah, I'm glad I had today off as well. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I had today off from work, which was quite nice. Because, well, honestly, there are points in time where I have found work to just be in. And you'll get it, right? You have those days where... I'm so more comfortable here. You have those days where you just think, holy fuck. The day is just dragging on and things just being shit, right? From the way it sounds from some of the fellas over in the office, some things were cocked up today that I would have gotten very pissed off about, so I must admit this nice little reprieve. Thursday's an odd day to have off, and I've just got today off. I've got a nice 2-week holiday coming up, though. I've not got much planned, I'll be completely honest. It's strange, right? I like having long periods of time off work, but I don't plan much for them. I really should plan like a holiday abroad or something, right? I've got my passport, I could wander out the country for a bit. But, I don't know, I don't really want to go on my own. And my last experience trying to book a holiday was, I'll be honest, soul-crushing. The process itself was fine, I was very excited for it actually, and I even went into therapy as kind of like a real kind of like way to help. Because I wanted to sort my issues out before I went on holiday, right? I wanted a clear head, I wanted to be my best point, right? So I went to therapy, I, worked hard to improve myself in a way, and Jesus Christ, can someone just press the button? Come on now. It literally kicks you out the thing if you withdraw, so... but yeah. So obviously, I get to a point where, I'm asking, hey, because I wasn't the one doing all the planning as much, and I'm asking, hey, what's going on right now? Are we, are we doing this? And I hear nothing. I then ask a bit later. I'm like, guys, we doing something here? Like, oh, poor dancer, he shows me. I'll do my best for you. I really will. Oh, that's a good gun blade. I want that thing. But yeah, so I keep asking, and eventually I don't hear a thing from them. And then, of course, what I find out much, much later, of course, is, well, I was never going. Yeah, you heard that right. I was never going. The whole thing was planned out, and because 2 of them decided out the blue they didn't like me one day. I haven't spoken to them in a while, but I think I feel like I wasn't told the full truth about why. I personally think there was some things said that I wasn't told, and if the person who's, should have told me is watching this, I'm not entirely, forgotten it. I just don't bring it up in conversation. What I will say is, it really hurt. It hurt a lot, honestly. And I kind of just, shut down in a way. Because, well, I'd just been told that, no, you're not going, the thing you're looking forward to isn't happening, and we're excluding you from it. So, I had that wonderful shock to discover. Not fun. Not fun at all to discover. So, I must admit, that experience really put me off going abroad or just going on holiday. Just such a bad experience of it all. So as I say, that experience definitely is making me not so keen. Not to say I never will, but it makes you kind of question things, right? You think, well, is that going to happen every time? Who can I really trust now? Which it did cross my mind, because obviously these weren't nobodies, these were people I knew. Who either didn't tell me, or just decided they hated me, apparently, the way I see it. So, you know, and someone might say, well, does that seem about you? And maybe it does. But the fact they didn't have, you know, they just didn't bother telling me. Like, I'm there getting my passport ready, getting stuff ready for me. Thankfully, thank God, I didn't let these idiots have a penny from me. Because, holy shit. I would have been even more mortified if that happened. Thankfully, it's just, they didn't quite pull that one on me. They didn't quite go as far as conning me out of my money. I suppose I should be thankful of that, I guess. I mean, I couldn't really call it that thankful, but... in fact, I really wouldn't call it that good at all, but hey. Ooh, shit. So yeah, that's my rather bad holiday experience. Well, almost holiday experience. It never actually happened. But of course, I'd run very far just to be here. Oh, I'm too far over. Yeah, I'm with the wrong party. Yeah, I'm sort of just stuck over at the minute until that stops. One day I will have a nice holiday, irrespective of... And I sure as hell won't rely on people I can't trust to that. That's for sure. I won't rely on people who have not got a proven record. It'll either be family or probably family, or maybe just myself at this point. I don't know. No, just little boots. I hate those. Actually, I might greet them. That's them now. This is nice gear in this raid, honestly. Some really, really nice gear. Yeah, this is the second one, I think. Apologize, I'm going to be silent occasionally. Just, different things. Ah, we're almost there. It's been a while since I've done this, to be fair, though, so I think it might take long normally. I think we weren't all focusing the same thing, so probably half the issue. There you go, see? Easily kill him. Oh, for a second I thought I might have been dead there. Ah. Little robo friend. You can get these for an exorbitant price. But I'm not willing to pay MGP, and well, as you can see my MGP, I don't know if you can see it there, it's about 267,000. Ah, this bit. Yes, that's a fair point. Yeah, so this one is essentially limited to, we can only attack these things and do damage to them. Oh, I did it the wrong way around there. The position's the way around, but it's fine. Deal with the samurai's like animations though. Of course, this thing. Oh. Okay, this is going to be the... no. I thought this might be the bit where they sort of turn around. Just anyone wondering, yes, I consider this to be pretty chill content. So, for me anyway. Like, we're not doing anything like hectic, right? But this is nowhere near, like, if we're doing like the latest raid tier or something, then yeah, I wouldn't just title it this. I must admit, I am very much looking forward to my stream with JD Moss tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to that a lot, because we're playing a game that I really enjoy, being Dawn of War. Dawn of War 2 to be precise. Okay, so that way. Oh, wait, no, I'm stupid. Wait, oh, I'm almost done. I swear it was the other side, but it looked like the first one was going. Yeah, no, I'm being. Yeah. There's a lot of people who aren't our team for some reason. We just simply have to learn from our mistakes, it's fine. Mistakes happen. It's fine. I think he's noticed I was dead, which is fair enough, honestly. Don't blame him. It's probably bad when he put this buff on me. I was like, oh, okay. Still burning. I might not make it. No, we're okay. Normally it's bad at multitasking with this sort of thing, but... Oh, is A down? That's not good. Go for some resistance. Try again. Right. No, you need to do this first. Then this. We're trying to Reaper over here. Oh, is my buff run out? Must have. Did the basic 1, 2, 3 now. Okay, on this side first. Then there. So, that way. That way. Over here. Okay. Pass the dumb jack. We need it. Ah, someone's doing it. Fine, we just helping the team. Stuff to do, of course. Now I'm getting back in the zone a little bit. Just want to kick out an absolute ton of damage. The healer coming in clutch there. Reed? Are these gloves? These are alright gloves. We already possess them, never mind. I doubt we'll get those gloves, because the 20 is a bad roll. But we'll see. So we move on over to this part of the ship. Oh shit, 2B. She's not here. Actually, no, she'll be in later. I've considered playing near on game, on stream. Yeah. I have considered it. So we have the safety bar lowered for us. Another control room, or command room. This one's bigger, with a bot in it. It's interesting seeing all this digital stuff actually. Stellaris' latest DLC seems to involve a lot of this kind of like digitization. I'm really looking forward to it actually. It's the machine DLC we've been needing, I think. What systems? Oh. Wait, what weapons? Ah, that's the new the mandible weapon, isn't it? Very fitting, I think. Well, this one I remember being a bit of a bastard, so we'll see how it goes. So some nice vibing music though. Yeah, I remember this now. You gotta like let it go away from them people. Why are you running towards me? Yeah, you really should be running up Wraith people, not towards them. Yeah, I remembered that mechanic. This boss I actually remember kind of well. Fine, high voltage is nothing to me because I'm currently just transcendent, so the joys of being temporarily invulnerable. Just remember, when you do anything like sprint or something, you will lose that. Level 90, missed the whole that pyramid. This absolute beast of a maneuver. What was this one doing again? I forgot. Because of the artillery units. Oh, this is the lasers outside, isn't it? This is shooting the balls. It's the ball shoots. Got the ball shooters. The very famous Nier ball shooters. Well, Nier tomato ball shooters, they're in every Nier. Do I understand the plot of Nier at all? No, but I'm just gonna... I don't think I'm qualified to explain that to anybody. I can tell you about Warhammer all day, but when it comes to Nier, I have no idea. Truly no idea. But it is what it is. I still can appreciate it as a game, and, well, they certainly know how to do the character design, that's for sure. Tiny little area, be safe. I think this tiny area here should be safe. So we'll say Dawn Trail. I really am looking forward to that. Oh, we might get screwed here. Yeah, I forgot we all need to go into the one. is a casual stream. It's very casual. This is going to turn into like ironic casual. Like, I'm going to say it's casual and you're going to come in, it's like, oh, here's endgame content. I don't think anyone would appreciate that too much. They came in expecting a casual experience. Just gonna heal him with lifesteal. Why not? I don't think I'm going to be fast enough. Oh! Thank you, healers. I swear, I've had really good healers each time, honestly. My hat's off to... I've tried my hand at healing. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I bet I can do okay at it. But my hat is off to anyone who actually knows what they're doing as a healer. Oh. I thought there was definitely a spot we could have set at. Almost beat it. Just a little more. There we go. Random screaming from the robot, but hey, don't worry about it. Is this the mage one? Yeah. Mage Vihis. Gotta love it. Hopefully Twitch doesn't mind the Makote and minimal in game. I probably shouldn't look at gear while I'm on stream, actually. That might be a bad idea. Hopefully no one's going to be too bothered. I mean... That's a blue Makote. That is a blue Makote. That is not very common. To be fair though, they look good. When I had an Elzen character, right, I kind of made it look like a drow, because I absolutely love drow. I think they're cool as fuck. Like, some people might call me edgy, right? And you can, sure, but I just really like the drows. Just, I like their lore, I like their aesthetic, I think they're cool. Right, Sumi, I think they're cool. And obviously, there's lots of very tasteful art on drow, not really about, of course. Don't get me wrong. That is certainly a factor, right? There's some very tasteful drow art out there. One of the artists I follow on Twitter, her name escapes me right now, but she's really good. Really, really good. And she does a lot of, like, drow, and honestly, chef's kiss. Fucking chef's kiss. Absolutely love her style. I've honestly been tempted to ask her, hey, would you do one of my VTuber? Or my FF14 Elzen that I used to have as a character use a lot. Very much been tempted. Just how good an art is, honestly. There's a few artists I'd love to work with. Okay, yep. Let's just do every bit. Oh, sideways as well, okay, that's nice. I'd like nothing to do with any of that. Thank you. Love to get that to strike at more range. Need it sometimes as a samurai. I need too much range, obviously. Samurai does a silly amount of damage. Though obviously it's brain dead against a bit like a black mage. Ah, yep, cutscene time for some people. I've seen this one before, but not everyone has, so hopefully we have a lot of nice people who are willing to wait. I'm ready, but that doesn't mean everyone else is. I'm going to step into here, but I'm not going to... Well, we have this brief moment to stare at the Orb of Doom, the compound. See the new Sleejing there. Yeah, the new Stellaris update. We're going to get some nice cybernetic stuff. And also some new synthetic stuff, which is really good, because Synthetic Dawn was cool, but I always felt like it wasn't enough. 2 new ship sets as well, love that. Any chance to get more ship designs is really appreciated. All the ship designs are really nice in Stellaris, but be able to mix it up, love that. Anytime I get more ship designs, I love that. And 2 as well, yeah. Species portraits will change based on how cybernetic you are. I mean, what more could I ask for? Truly, what more could I ask for? Then you get stuff like new kind of advanced government types, so it's like, okay, we're going, fuck it, we ball. As we all agreed that was time to ball. Speaking of balling, pun intended, because fuck it. Fuck it. Village fighting ball. Good news is that I think all sides of this bad boy are just kosher for hitting. Positionals have become more and more unimportant, I've noticed, throughout the game, so I'm not surprised that even at this point they will be like reconsidering the necessity of people. The Lala going hell over there, see. Slangy Lalafil. In between the balls. Sorry, no one's hit. Very unlikely anyone's hit eclipse that, so no one has to have a problem saying that. Never know, one day that might not be the case, but it is. Kenki? I forget the name of these now. Now the Orb of Dolls must block. Like an abused pile from someone's jar. To create a large 2B-esque figure. Ooh. Apologies, smack the mic there. The music in this is very nice, I will say. Again, I mean, not to be shocked, Japanese studios doing good music isn't exactly a rare thing, is it? It's funny, they do better symphonies than the concert that made them, to quote Maxor here. Know Maxor. I assume you do. You probably know Maxor more than you know me, I would wager. So I could probably put money on if you're here, you know who that is. I could mention someone more obscure like Seth Tash. He's a bit more obscure. I don't think he should be necessarily, because honestly, I think he does good stuff. Oh, I was too close. Okay, that's just direction. Yeah, be inside the area. The next time, I think we'll involve sending out a duplicate. That's the grift, I remember that now. That's the little grift he pulls. Vanishing like that. Things going on right now. I feel like I'll send it with all that. I really could have just made this just chatting something all the time, really. I come to think of it. Maybe we should have. But you know what? I kind of want to play a game too, rather than just talk. They're all going to do the dupes. Ball, bench the ones that should be fake. Some fake news ones eventually. So, yeah, I remember that being a thing. Ah, yes, some of them moved, don't they? Yes. Hit it with this. Living. Love that move. Yet again, I'll cheat there. Wrongfully, honestly. Fuck it. Roll. I feel like it's this one, yeah. Won that with a gamble. So it's 100% admissibly. There is a way of telling for sure which one that is. Thankfully, we need to learn it for a bit. The tank, sure. Little lanky guy. good options here. No, I'm not interested in. No. Nothing too interested in here. Not from that selection. Oh, excellent. It's nice and rainy here as well. Is it rainy outside as well? Surprisingly enough. No, I don't think it actually is for once. Makes a change, doesn't it? Get up my car. Just look out at the nice rain for a bit. Wish I brought myself another drink. I might just go grab one, I don't know. We'll see how I feel in a second. Oh, hunting. Yeah, hunting in the area. It's going to get loud in a second. In the chat, I suspect, but it's fine because it doesn't ping. Also, it's kind of hidden behind you guys a bit, which I'm actually quite happy about in a way because, in all honesty, I always worry about this chat because someone could type anything in there. That's the terrifying bit. I mean, thankfully, I'm literally nobody on this platform, so I'm not too worried about someone tracking me down and doing that. But it's always a thought that crosses my mind, right? Because, you know, it is a thing that happens. It's very annoying, but, you know, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Something I was doing today, actually, to sort of pick up on my earlier topic of stuff I've been doing. I actually had a little nosy at a few VTuber thumbnails, actually. With it being mentioned as a thing I should look at, right? So I thought to myself, hey, what kind of stuff are they doing at the minute? And I guess, from what I could see, it was a weird mix of things, right? It was a weird mix of, let's say a mix, there's a consistent pattern, right? Using the model for reaction, right? Doing the, you know, the usual YouTuber face, right? You go up and you pull the little, or, you know, you look at something and, you know, maybe you zoom in a bit and then you give it the old, or something like that, right? You know, you do a bit of that. And that's, you know what, that's perfectly fair. Non-VTubers have done it for years, so why can't we? Hey. I will never quite get used to saying it like that, like I'm one of them. I don't know if I'll ever feel like I'm one, but maybe that's imposter syndrome to a point, but I'm also nobody that special. Something I'm going to do, actually, bear with me 2 ticks. The music's going to stop for a second, because... oh, end goal. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to turn off the goal, and the reason I turned off the goal, because I actually don't think it's that useful anymore to me. And what I mean by that is, I don't think, like, obviously I still get follower prompts, right, and I will always thank anyone who follows me, right? I don't think I'm so big that I can ignore followers. But what I think is important is I don't want to be looking at that as much, because I know I'm at a point where I'm over that boundary, right, where I've got the follow account to a set point, okay? I've got that. The reason I've got that is I think I've been trying to like promote myself a lot, and people very kindly decided to follow me. But at this point, I need to sort of look at more, I guess, bringing in people to like watch the streams really at this point. I'm not saying that's going to happen anytime soon, and maybe it'll never happen. Maybe this, you know, this whole thing with streaming isn't hugely for me. I don't know. I'd like to hope it is. I've certainly put in some time and effort into doing so, but of course, that doesn't mean necessarily it will work. You know, I can do all kinds of things, right? But at the end of the day, it's to you guys watching if you think I'm worth your time. Time is precious and limited, and you should be picky about what you waste it on, or spend it on, I suppose would be a better way of putting it. not really wasting time, you're spending it, right? You know? Spending that time, and you always want to make sure you're spending it wisely, right? Because obviously, there's only so much. I know I'm quite painfully aware of that little fact. A good example, I mean, the last couple of years have really shown me what kind of stuff I have to worry about as far as like time and how long things are taking. Or, you know, no, I'm not wording that right at all. Not how long things are taking, how long time's left, if that makes sense. You know. Because, in a way, there's a lot of time left, but in another way, there really isn't. Oh. Oh, hang on. Is it backslash? There we go. But that's as long as it's been until I played the game. I forgot which slash is which. But I think, to sort of explain where this started, back in 2021, my mother lost a drink, unfortunately, and, well, she passed. I won't go into detail as to the finer points of it, because, well, it's one of those things, right? It's not very nice to go into, but needless to say, it's made me realise a bit, right? It's made me think, hey, I probably should think a bit more about what I do with my life, right? And it's kind of made me very painfully aware as to how short it can be. How truly, the description of life being like a candle, right? The hotter you burn it, the quicker it goes out. And I don't want mine to go out before I've done something I can be proud of. That's something it's something I want, right? It's something I really would like to, I hope I can achieve. You know, I don't know if streaming would be the way to do it, but I figured this would be a good way to kind of use my time in a way that I don't feel like I'm wasting. Exactly. Because I can use this time to meet new people, meet new friends, say hello to people, and just maybe not be as alone, in a way. But yeah, it's one of them, right? It's all a long process, and I don't know how often I'll do a stream like this, where I either play a game or just chat and just air out stuff. I maybe might just do a chatting stream. In complete honesty, I might just do that in the future, because this has kind of become one in the way of me literally chatting. I may even flick it over to that if I don't feel like playing more 14. Speaking of, let's find a mender, because I'd like my stuff fixed. But, you know. That wasn't meant to purchase, I was meant to repair gear. I eventually got there, didn't I? Guild heist, main scenario, trials, leveling. How much of this stuff I got? Got a lot, but get more. I'm getting 900 a week now, that's good. Oh, they changed that. That was a right pain in the arse. A trial? It's got me thinking now if I want to maybe switch this over to being a just chatting stream, actually. Or just a stream of consciousness it. That does make me wonder, actually, if I want to do that. Ah, a new player, I think. New white mage. Best luck to you, buddy. A healing life's a hard life, but if you can pull it off, you're a bigger man than most people, or bigger woman than most people, or whatever. You know, bigger person. Yeah, you're a bigger person than most people. Ironic me saying that to a Lalafell player, but you don't have to be physically big to be a big person, right? Yeah, I suppose to steal a line from someone far more intelligent and far more deserving of any success than me, it takes a big man, not necessarily a tall one, to stick to the guns, as it were. And I think when it comes to healers, you're a big person for doing it, right? Obviously, don't let it go to your head, but I think to myself, you've got something about you if you want to stick with it. Just be careful in the nest of degeneracy that is the Limsa teleportation zone. You never know what's going on over here. A lot of ERP. Not quite Balmung. That place is a place of legend. I don't think Lich is known for degeneracy, but you never know. Never know, right, with Lich. Oh, hell. I'm glad I turned off the little prompt that says the thing isn't ready yet as well, so you guys have to hear that beeping constantly. Like, I phased it out, but some of you watching at home maybe haven't, because you just haven't thought about it, or just don't play the game, but like watching it. I don't think there's a very big crowd for watching this game at this point in time, like World of Warcraft. I've been tempted to look at World of Warcraft. I was thinking of the Shadow Priest, honestly. There's a little something I was thinking about. It was definitely a thought in my mind about whether that'd be fun. Obviously, it's a subscription, so I'll have to say, like, I'll see how much that subscription would cost. I've got the money probably, but I don't like throwing money around frivolously. Is that a new samurai? It is indeed. That's kind of screwed though, I've got the same stance. And then again, I guess the skeleton from Makote and the Aura are quite similar. Not much difference in the height. They're a bit smaller, but not that much. I should probably see my little company guys at some point, but I just couldn't be asked. I stop yawning, bloody hell. Unfortunately, I have got work tomorrow, so I won't make this too long a stream, but I must admit, I've been thinking about looking somewhere else soon. I don't know when, but it's gonna come up, right? It's gonna come up, and I think to myself, it's just one of those things that I bite the bullet and do. Because the day job is pretty shit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not jumping into this anytime soon as full-time. No way. Because I don't make money from it. I don't have the audience or the income from doing this to make money from it. This is something I'd like to be a job, but it's a hobby right now. And I dedicate what time I can to it, and I hope that over time I can improve and maybe get there. But I fully accept in my mind that I may never get there. I may never quite be at the point where I can enjoy that kind of success. One of my friends, Onyx, recently achieved affiliate very rapidly, which, you know, congrats to him. Genuinely, congrats. I only hope I can do the same at some point. I only hope, anyway. Because I think it'd be nice. Especially, I can then do channel points and stuff like that. That's one of the big one for me. I want to be able to do more things that, you know, you guys can use. So channel points is a big one. I wish that was a thing you didn't have to be an affiliate for. Because I think there's a lot of fun stuff with channel points that I could enable. Bits, to a lesser extent, again, for redeems and stuff. I think that'd be kind of nice for you guys. Also, it kind of like, just, I don't know, there's a lot of just little interactable stuff that requires affiliate to be enabled. That's the big one. Don't get me wrong, would I love subs to be enabled and to make money? Absolutely. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, money's nice. But having a bit more stuff I can do to kind of like entertain anyone in chat and, you know, get some random funny reactions from myself or them, you know, it'd be nice. You know, just adds to the content. Basically more interactable. And fuck me, I forgot to turn the damn phone's notifications off again. I said I was going to do it, didn't I? I remember specifically saying I need to do that, and guess who didn't? Like an absolute fool. Also, a big one I noticed actually while I was out and about. I noticed Froggy put the announcement up, and I did respond actually. I noticed he actually did a little like to that. And honestly, I'm really pleased to see that, you know, people are feeling more comfortable coming out about being on the spectrum and going and actually finding out about it. I think that's really good. I think it's important, right? You know what, I feel like I'm standing here so much, I really should just make this a just chatting stream, actually, so bear with me a second, folks. I'm going to go do that. Let me flick you over to this screen here, because I think, you know what, we've been standing here for so long that I feel like I should just go and bite the bullet and do it. So we're going to just quickly edit that. There we go. We'll change the vibing and chilling, and we'll change the category to just chatting. I guess we'll talk about gaming occasionally, so I'll leave the tag in there. There we go. And I'll just put out 14. I was going to play a lot more 14, but I don't know. I just sort of ended up sat there talking. I just thought, you know what? Well, this is a chatting stream at this point, so let's just bite the bullet and do it, yeah? We might as well. We might as well do it. Do it. Bite the bullet. Why the hell not? Now, let me put on some nice little tunes for you all here. And I'm going to... Oh, I realise I have it muted. That's very silly of me. Boop. There you go. Got a nice bit of jazz for you. Let me know if that's too loud. I might change the music up. We'll see. But honestly, I've... Let me resize me in here. No, I've lost my trail of thought while I was changing up stream settings, of course. As is the way, right? Very foolish of me. But yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah. So, I noticed a few more creators have come out about Big on the Spectrum, which I think is quite important, actually. This is going to turn to be a rant about me talking about people feeling comfortable talking about it. So, my apologies for anyone who doesn't have too much interest in the subject. But it's like, for example, with Froggy, right? Froggy, who I'm sure a lot of you know, wonderful artist, wonderful creator, and someone who I genuinely think is a really nice person, from what I can tell. Seems really fun on streams. Obviously, I don't know her personally, but from what I can tell, she seems nice enough, so I'll vouch for her. And she recently came out and said, oh, you know, I've been diagnosed, and she seemed really shook by it in a way. And the thing is, I 100% get it. 100% get it, because, well, it is kind of a big thing, and dare I say a bit scary in a way, because, well, you're kind of in a position where you have to sort of look at your life now and go, oh, shit, this is a thing. And for a lot of people, that's kind of scary, right? That's kind of scary in a way, because it's a hell of a thing to take in if you haven't already been told about it. I've lived my entire life knowing, right? I've lived my entire life knowing I'm on the spectrum. You know, it was back when I was diagnosed, they split them up a bit more. So Asperger's syndrome was what it was referred to at the time. I think it's now called high-level autism, I think. I don't know 100%. It's been a while. They update the term every so often. But they decided to squish it onto one thing. I never liked that personally, because I think it kind of waters down the two. They're similar, right? There's a spectrum, yeah? I think it's okay to have different terms for people on different levels of the spectrum. A lot of people didn't understand a lot of it, and the thing that does make me a little annoyed, the change wasn't really done to help people like me. The change was done, one, because it's cheaper to have less things written in a book, and two, for people who refused to understand it, or didn't understand it, or had a hard time understanding it. Not people who had the issue like me, well, I say issue, had the condition. It's not an issue to me, it's just it's a part of me, but it isn't me. And my advice I've said to anyone who's found out late, Fruit was another one. Fruit found out not too long ago. A lot of women actually find out later in life because they're better at hiding it, unintentionally or otherwise, than guys are when they're younger. So a long time it was believed women didn't really get it, and then, you know, a lot more often now especially, it's accepted, yeah, women also get autism. And my advice to everyone who finds out later is, you're still you. What I mean by that is, you are you. Essentially, this diagnosis does not change who you are. Because you've always had it. You haven't suddenly had it, you've always had it, from birth. And because you've had it from birth, it's always been an aspect of you. It's always been something that will affect you in ways, and not affect you in others. So, you know, as hard as it'll sound, there's no use worrying too much about it, because you really aren't any different. You just learned something about yourself that you didn't know before. And that little thing, it feels pretty big if you haven't had it before, and I completely understand if I'd gone my whole life not knowing and suddenly been told, yeah, you've got it, I probably would feel a bit out of sorts, because especially if you feel like you know yourself, well, now you don't know if you know yourself anymore. But the important bit, I think, is to remember, it's always been there. It's always been there. So no matter what you do, no matter what you sort of think about, you're still you. And I think that's very special, and people should remember that. And I really, really hope that their fan bases still care and respect for them in the same way they did before. the one thing I always panic about when telling someone I'm on the spectrum is being treated differently. I never want to be treated differently because of it. That's the one thing that would make me angry, is if someone started like treating me like shit because I have it and trying to like dumb things down for me. Like, no, piss off with that. I don't need you to dumb things down for me. Just, bear with me on certain things, or look, maybe explain it differently because this isn't quite working in my head. Thing with neurodivergency, right? You're not built wrong, you're built different. Literally, you're built different. Your head doesn't work the same as other people's. You're wired in a way that's different. So things that don't bother you bother other people. Things that bother other people don't bother you. And, and quite importantly as well, you're really, I guess, in that strange position in life where, the world's not really built for you. And that's a really hard thing to accept. But I think it's a lesson you have to learn if you've grown up with it. Some people get kind of coddled a bit and told the world has to change for them. Something I accepted a long time ago is the world will not change for me. I would argue not many people in my, I guess not many people are on kind of my side in that way, because what I mean by that, by my side, I say mine, I mean like our side, that kind of thing. I'm making sides of it, but like, how to explain it? There's a lot of like government stuff, legislation stuff that just takes funding away from helping people like myself. Like, the world's already a confusing enough place as it is. Add on autism to it, and the world's really confusing. People can be very confusing to you, right? And again, it's hard to explain this. And I've had a real hard time sometimes explaining these things to, managers, to bosses. It's like, look, I am on this spectrum, and things that might not seem like a bother to you are to me. And, I don't think they understand in the slightest, because why would they, right? If they're not familiar with it, if they're not used to it. You might also argue, why would they care? Now, you might say legally they have to. Yes, they do. But that doesn't mean necessarily they do. Right? Now, obviously, when you're a creator, you're your own boss. You don't have to give a shit about some fucker who doesn't do your job or doesn't know your job and only sees you as a number. You don't have to care about that crap. You don't have to care about some, shitty company that barely pays you properly and mistreats you like shit. Mistreats you and just, frankly, is a joke and has a shit excuse for HR. Sorry, I'm venting on my own current position I'm at. Gotta love when you find out your HR's nothing but admin, right? And every complaint goes to someone high up who's not HR. That's really fucked. I will just, on a tangent, that pissed me off this week to find out that. Honestly, it's a joke. But to sort of go back to the point, obviously, the issue though when you're a creator, when you're a full-time creator as well, I believe Frog is a full-time artist and also a creator, in her case. But her and Fruit and many others, I'm sure, then sit and think, oh, what if my fans don't accept me? What if, all these people sound look at me funny? That kind of thing, right? And I get that, 100%, because, God, I think about that all the time, if people knew. And, I don't know. It's good to see, though, that their fan base is behind them, and they've got a really good support system. I saw many creators very quickly jump to it, and Fruit and Two, and other people who've come out about it, and, talk about, they've been there for them, right? And I think that's great. I think that's fantastic. And to those people, you are good friends to her, and I think people would kill for having friends like that, frankly. Right? They're hard to come by. Good friends. There's a reason my friend group's as small as it is. Like, it's very small, my direct friend group. For anyone wondering, when I say friends, by the way, it's a little term I believe that was used a lot in mafia circles back in the day, as you can probably tell by the theme and concept of my VTuber and what I do. So I quite often say friends, like in that kind of way, you know, like the family, you know. Which I definitely don't run, by the way. Not at all. Allegations of the Cabral family's activities should be not looked at for your own good, okay? But you know, oh, my neck is stiff as shit today. That's a joke we made there, but no one's here to make it, so I'm not too worried. Well, not many anyway. But you know, I think sort of to go back to my original point there. Oh shit, hey buddy. How you doing? Welcome to the stream, by the way. I don't know how long you've been here. It was meant to be an FF14 stream, but I was sat there for so long, I just kind of went, fuck it. You know, we'll just make it a bloody... just chatting stream, honestly. I don't know. I'd thought about it, and I just thought, you know what, bite the bullet and just do it. I mean, there's not many people looking at 14 at this point in time. Definitely not what I'm doing, so we'll just do a bit of casual chat, right? But I know you understand some of the points I was making earlier. Yeah, I know. I suppose, to me, those are pretty casual, but you can see I was rusty. I need to get back into playing the game more before Dawn Trail comes out, because it's going to slap my ass if I don't get used to it again, but that's on me. I should have probably not titled it casual. I guess I don't know what I consider casual. What someone else likes it casual is a very mixed bag, right? So, that's fair. But, I don't know. I do like those raids, and Dawn Trail shows some nice raids as well. I don't know if you saw, I did put it in the Discord, and for those of you who aren't in my personal Discord, of course, you might be watching later on, I do have my other Discord. I don't advertise it nearly enough, but it's there, it exists. And you know, should you wish to join it, you certainly may. I have put it there too, but basically, there's a new Stellaris DLC coming out. A big one at that. The collab, it went, I think it went okay. There was definitely a bit of awkwardness, I think, because I think, obviously, you know, when you've not met some people, like, I'd interacted with Tiger a bunch, so I kind of, sort of knew her, or knew them, but, the other two I don't know. I didn't know them too well, so I think we got along. The alias you set this command to be... Hey, what? The alias you set this command to be of fellow does not exist. Huh? Is Nightbot being a bit funny? Nightbot's being funny. I don't know, that wasn't weird. Anyway, yeah, I think the collab went okay. And honestly, I think it was alright. Again, I think it's one of those things where if I'd have known a bit better, probably would have gone a little better. But and there's a bit of scuff at the beginning. We started a little later than expected. But you know, I've got it all working. Helldivers did decide to have a moment where it just went, "Oh, we're gonna break," which, you know, is what it is, right? But you know, it went all right, all things considered. The free mechs were gone, unfortunately, so had to bring the stratagem, and we were doing, I want to say, suicide mission difficulty. So quite high difficulty 8, I think. No, 7, difficulty 7. But yeah, that one was rough. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. That was a rough mission. I think it was against bots too, so yeah, it was a bit rough at points. But you know, I go along with everybody. They go along with me, I think, and we might do it again sometime. Busy schedules, and obviously when things can happen is a bit all over the place. I'm of course looking forward to ours pretty soon. Oh yeah, bots. Yeah. But against bots, it didn't help, admittedly, that one of them had a mild case of misfire with his missiles. You know, the mildest case of shall we say, being a little forgetful about where his missile placement was. Well, not missile so much, sorry, but how shall we say? Stratagem placement of eagles and that kind of thing. So, of course, it blew us up a few times. In fact, I think there was a point where there was only a few of us. Well, there was 3 of us set up ready to do the mineral extraction, and an eagle was thrown that maybe shouldn't have been. That may or may not have annihilated the entire group, which, of course, not ideal. So that made things a lot harder, and they were, put this way, they were certainly embracing the team kill a little bit more than the rest of us were. But I don't think it was malicious. I think it was entirely accidental. They were pretty apologetic about it. That one that he killed all 3 of us, though, and I was just like, it's fine, it's fine. Keeping positivity, which, honestly, I'm glad it's a skill I've developed more doing this, because I know I can be a very negative person. Christ knows I'm a negative as fuck person. So, the fact I just kept my cool, was like, it's fine, I'm not bothered. I was a little, but mostly just like, oh, okay. It's gonna happen. But, you know. Also, I am realizing how dry as shit my throat is getting. Holy fuck, I can feel that shit. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab a drink because my throat feels like sandpaper right now. I'll be 1 second. There we go. Apologies about that. I'm back now with another beverage. May or may not be alcoholic. You don't need to know that. It's a Thursday, it's almost the end of the week. You see the Dragonheart, the critical roll team. Oh, no, I did not see that. 1 second, let me pull that up. I might as well, as I'm... It's a weird position being this Just Chatting situation, because obviously I can actually look at this stuff, but I'm not showing my screen, so... Dragonheart. Daggerheart, sorry, Daggerheart. 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 Nice little turtle right at the front there. New fancy RPG in 2025. Talking about long-term campaign in play and rich. Okay, good. That's a sound with 4. I will learn to read at some point. We've extended a special invitation to you and everyone you know to play, break, and bring us unfiltered feedback for Daggerheart. The home of our playtest is daggerheart.com, where you'll find information about the game, especially updates. Okay. So there's PDF material for it? Okay, we might have a little look at that. Honestly, might be worth a little look-see. That wouldn't make a bad stream, actually, just looking over that. That might be a good idea, actually. Buddy, you may have just given me something, thank you very much. I may just go do that at some... I may just make a moment of that to sort of chunk through that, maybe like an extra stream or something, I don't know. Visit one of our 2 digital platform partners for their versions of materials, Demiplane, Character Creation, and Nexus, and Drive for RPG. Places materials PDF. Okay. So we've created a few videos to help you begin picking cards and rolling these Hope and Fair dice seamlessly possible. Okay. So it involves dice, does it? Oh, sorry, not dice. Obviously it involves dice. No shit. It involves cards. Sorry, little cards. Did I just misread that somewhere? Oh, so the fact I just opened the mic said, does it involve dice? It involves dice. Like, I'm shocked. Yeah, no, you just say what roll you get. Do you ever roll a 20? Shit. You're right. Here's my favourite parts, picking... cracking open a new game. I want to show you about the system. Check it out. Okay, so he's got a bit going over... Okay. Want to live stream your own play sessions? Welcome to review, stream, show... See, I'd love to do that. I just don't know if everyone would be down for that. But would love to do that. But, you know, we'll see. Don't forget to take a look at these surveys. Okay. Some nice art on here as well, actually. I'm going to bookmark this page here. And, let me go on my to-do app. And we will add a task. Go over Daggerheart playtest. I have been looking for something new, so we will have a look at that. Definitely one I will look over, honestly, because it seems really interesting, and if nothing else, it's made by Matt Mercer, so I have some hope that, well, Matt Mercer with some of the other guys with Critical Role, and you know, some of the people from there, so I should think it'd be pretty good, honestly, so yeah, we I'll go over that maybe later on in the week, actually. Go over that little in-depth dig. I mean, if you want in on that, buddy, you're more than welcome to join me on that if you like. Up to you, of course, but I don't know. Might do it as like an informal one, you know, or might schedule it in. We'll see. We will see on that one. But yeah, that looks pretty decent, honestly. I do quite like the idea of that. Hang on, have I just been goofy and turned off my Twitch? Oh, come off my Twitch. That's really smart, isn't it? Very, very intelligent of me, that is. Video producing. Okay, there we go. Right. Thankfully, the stream does not require this to be open, which is good, because that would be really bad if it did. Yeah, I've been looking. Oh, what's it? I love what words Matt Mercer makes, but his classes blesses can't even be. Yeah, that is the thing. But then I suppose, I guess the thing is, it's a bit like so. I forget the chap's name now, but there's a guy who was a very infamous book writer for the rules for Warhammer. You may remember me or our mutual friends talking about him. But basically, he was quite reviled for the fact that some of his codexes were just a bit unbalanced against codexes that weren't written by him. And what was interesting though is the ones he wrote were balanced really well against other ones he wrote. So if he'd have written all of them, it'd actually been okay. So I suppose the logic I'm kind of getting at is, will Matt Mercer's balance be a bit better? And I guess it isn't just him, might be some others chipping in too. Would that balance be a bit better if it wasn't just him? Maybe? I don't know. Because, well, yes, he definitely has some misses, certainly, or some really overpowered stuff. But I guess if everything's overpowered, and I guess what is overpowered in that system as well, right? I guess that's kind of the question. What is actually overpowered in that system? It might be that because he's built the system from the ground up, that system might be a bit more better for his way of doing things. That's one to think about. Maybe he didn't do the classes at all. He might have just done the lore, because he's really good at that, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm not saying definitely right. You could be 100% right, and the balance is just all over the place, and one class is insanely overpowered, and one class is really weak. But from what I understand, from reading the stuff he's done, it might just be that it's kind of like sort of balanced, right? It depends if he's writing all of it, or is he writing the lore? The other said something. Nightbot's being kind of funny. Nightbot, why are you being a bit daft? Why is Nightbot being kind of funny? Good old Nightbot. I'll have to look at the commands real quick and just check that. Where is that one? I follow. That's not one of the defaults, is that a custom? Oh, no. Thingy follow. I don't know why it's doing it constantly. Is it trying to pick out the name of what I'm saying? Is that it? Oh, I can't do it from that chat, can I? Because it's goofy like that, even though I'm already signed into Twitch. On that, but hey. Huh. The others you set the commands to be of... Yeah, I might have to look at that, because that's being weird, freaky, but... It is what it is, right? It is what it is. But Nightbot's just been kind of funny. It's kind of doing some moderation stuff for me anyway, so I might just look at why it's being that way after stream. It does do some good work in Discord, at least. That's for sure. It's pretty good for handling some of those funny things. Yeah, I've been looking for some things that aren't 5e. As much as I like 5e, right, and I do like 5e. I like 5e a bunch. But I think to myself, you know, maybe it's just not that good. Or, let's say not that good. I guess to kind of explain myself, because... Yeah, some of the other stuff, and also... The way I see it... The way I see it, right? It kind of... It gets a bit samey if you do it a bunch, right? And I feel like I have a harder time really getting us into it if I keep doing the same thing over and over again with it. And you get to a point where you try and do things a bit more out there for it, right? But obviously, 5e is good at particular things, I'd say. There's like a lot of things it's good at. But there's definitely things that it's intended for, right? Combat, of course, being one of them. But specifically combat in kind of a dungeon crawly kind of sense. I mean, a good example of that, to a way, is like how like Warlock's designed. If you run a campaign the way the designers thought you were going to, Warlock's fine. Warlock's just fine. Everything back on a short rest. Yeah. Easy. You will do just fine. Especially when you can just blow everything on every fight and then, oh, get a short rest in. Great, back to it. Whereas if a cast is more selective. Obviously, you don't want to blow things in case you don't get a short rest, but at the same time, they come back quickly. But I think with how it's kind of ran, with how people run it, right? Most people run it. It's not as much about going through a dungeon, right? All as much. Hell, some games you have no dungeon or dragon. I'm trying to think of when I've ever had a dragon fight in any of mine, honestly, so far. Needless to say, oh, bouncing around there. Needless to say, there's got to be a point where it happens. But it's not necessarily going to be soon, and hell with dungeons, Some campaigns, dungeons feel a bit kind of... You can still run them, but it's like... I guess it's not called a dungeon, right? It's like, oh, you're going into someone's house, you're going into a compound, you're... So you get that same dungeon-y experience, right? But I think you might not run it the same, like, oh, it might not be anywhere safe to rest. So those short rest classes maybe don't get to shine as well. I suppose what I'm saying is there's a way 5e's kind of intended to be ran that is great and very approachable to new people. But I always think to myself, it's probably... There's aspects, like more specific things you might want that it can't do. There's like, you might want a certain style of campaign, right? And it might just not work for 5e. It genuinely might just not work for 5e at all, because, simply put, 5e just isn't built for it. An intrigue campaign is a good example. 5e's rules don't really support it too well. Thankfully, intrigue's a lot more about the roleplay anyway, but there are definitely systems that have a bit more mechanical, some crunch to go through fluff, right? What if you're doing a heist? Now, D&D, you could probably do a heist, but then something like Blades in the Dark, you could probably do it better because it's more built for that, right? It's not good for the kind of like niche kind of specialist campaigns, but it's good for general stuff. Problems with the short rest classes that players can also be a bit scared to take short rest. Yes, that is very true. Willingness to take those short rests, I think, is quite important, right? I mean, in the one I'm running now, that you're in, that's probably going to come up a bunch, because obviously 2 of your party members are short rest focused, whereas I don't think the paladin... I think they get their channel divinities back on short rest, don't they? But they don't get their spells back on short rests. There's a long rest. So, and yes, you can use channel divinity to recuperate a spell. You take short rests in that kind of... Yes, you really will. And obviously, I need to present the situations where it's relevant. But I guess like you're traveling a lot, so short rests are going to come up a bunch. So there's probably going to be a few situations where I can kind of bring that up, because I think it'll benefit the other 2. Not that one of them needs much help with that. Gun Monk can kind of blow through just about anything. But, you know, and that's fine. I think the short rests, I'm going to have to make sure I can work those in, because I think I've always worked them in too well before, so this is a good opportunity to get used to doing that. And what kind of travelling we're doing, we could be easily long rest on the boat. That is true, on a boat you could, but on horseback, depends where you can rest. You may just decide that a short rest is required and then take a long ride through the night, because it helps you avoid detection. You could be in an area where it's simply just not safe to rest. It's so unsafe to rest that you can only get a short rest due to how restless it is. You know, there's definitely going to be circumstances where that can come up. There might be times where you stop somewhere, but you know you can't stay that long. And if you go into a deep sleep, you may have a hard time getting up. Like, in your guys' case, right? If you start taking long rests in full armor, it could definitely be a problem. That's true, exactly, yeah. Absolutely. And obviously, you take turns, you'll get your rest in. There's definitely that kind of situation. And even when you get to the city, right? When you get to Hitara itself, it's gonna come up where you might not always be able to get a good night's sleep. Obviously, that's going a bit way off now. But it's something to think about. It's definitely what I've got to have a plan of. And I think this campaign, I intend to have more of a plan. Definitely. No, it's not a friendly city at all. It's definitely a rough city, rough people, and again, not that you guys can't handle that, you can definitely handle that, but obviously, as you say, it's not a friendly city. You know, you have kind of out-of-game knowledge from last campaign of how rough things are there. Obviously, past campaign, a lot of the events stand, so you guys definitely, you know, tore ass through the place and dealt with a lot of bad stuff, but there's still a lot of bad there. The Seekers of the Scarlet Dawn, for example, the Seekers are very much still active, unfortunately. Whether they'll come up, who knows? They might be in the background. They might, you know, you guys might decide, even if it's an out of character kind of thing, to maybe just, you know, give them a bonk. Yeah, R.I.P. Lillian Voss. Maybe you can avenge her. Maybe you can find the bastard who killed her. It's possible, man. It's entirely possible. Entirely. And hey, I am looking forward to seeing that possibly come to fruition. By the time you guys get to the city, you'll probably be level 7, so I expect you guys to be able to tear us through a lot of stuff by then. I'll probably make like the boat trip to Hitara the point where you guys get a level up. That's probably like where I'm going to do that level. Because I feel like that journey, by the time you've completed that journey, you'll have earned your level. It may even come sooner, but definitely by the time you've done that journey. Because with it, me wanting to keep it to like level 10, maxing really, I don't want to reward levels too soon, and also, you guys are already pretty cracked. So I want to be careful of the level progression. A bit of gear could certainly up you guys' power considerably. So it's stuff to look at. Obviously, third session like it. Oh yeah. I think the group dynamic's developing quite nicely. Obviously, you've kind of had to take a more of a leadership role, kind of. So hopefully you're doing okay with that. Though I'd say you're taking it on the chin quite well, personally, from my side of the table anyway. Well, yeah. I mean, one player specifically doesn't want to be, and has gone out of his way to engineer himself to not be able to be. The other one is less likely to be a leadership role. It's not his vibe. So that does unfortunately kind of leave it to you, I'm afraid. But again, I think you're doing just fine. The camera does not like me having a drink. I am quite looking forward to our Dawn of War collab tomorrow as well. I have been looking forward to that all week, actually, to be honest with you. That's one of the ones. The other one I was looking forward to, but I was also quite anxious about. This one I'm just kind of looking forward to. I've not got any anxiety about it. I forgot that if you just have Dawn of War 2 installed, Chaos Rising is just playable on the off. So, that's good to know. So, I've only got to install that. Also, at some point, I don't know if you might have to get a few of you in the call about this, but maybe another Stellaris game when the DLC comes out. I think it'd be quite nice. We don't have to finish it, but I don't know if you saw, but we've got a lot more options. Religious cybernetics, for example. Nightbot, what the fuck? I looked at a war the other day. Oh yeah, we're gonna go down the nostalgia tree. We are go right down that long line of nostalgia. I just wish Dawn of War wasn't a dead series because I thought it was so good. They really did screw us a bit with the third game, but I like to pretend that doesn't exist. There are only 2 Dawn of War games. Both are good. Both have got a very active modding community as well, keeping them going. And Dawn of War 2 is like up there. Oh yeah. That cutscene, I don't remember it being such a pain in the ass, but oh, fucking hell. I need to stop yawning. I do need to stop yawning, god damn it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. That's got nice enemy variety that game did. Also, obviously when we get to Chaos Rising, we have the wonderful chaos, corruption mechanic to deal with, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm quite looking forward to it though. But yeah, my brain went blank there for a second. Head empty. things be going on this week. Obviously, the Helldivers new warband came out today. I did manage to pick that up, and I have the laser rifle now. The armor looks like it'll be kind of interesting. It seems like a lot of people are going to be using each other's lightning rods from here on, because the armor gives you 95% lightning resistance. I do wonder, because the Illuminate use bioelectricity, I'm kind of curious if that armor is going to be quite needed against the Illuminate. Because in the first, well, their whole thing is they use bioelectricity. So I'm kind of curious about that. But yeah, the laser assault rifle's pretty decent. Laser pistol, I mean, it's an infinite ammo pistol. Well, infinite as long as it don't burn it out. Plasma shotgun, that's one I want a lot. The lightning shotgun, of course, is fun. That looks cool too. So, but the plasma shotgun being built off the Punisher sort of base, which I'm quite happy about, because I like that shotgun. Well, the slugger in particular, I like, but that shotgun model's quite nice. And obviously flying bugs have been added, which, you know, is certainly a vibe. I haven't encountered them yet, the Shriekers I think they're called. But I'm sure I'll encounter them at some point. Maybe this weekend, we'll see. We will see. Though, I must admit, I may need to look for something else to fill in my time that isn't Helldivers. Nothing against the game itself, I love the game, but I worry it's starting to burn me out a little bit. So, I might look into, you know, just... Ow. Excuse me. I may look into other things, I'm thinking. I played a couple of games and didn't see the flying bugs. Maybe not. Yeah, I have to look what difficulty those spawn at, because I haven't seen any myself, so I don't know what difficulty those come at. I suspect kind of high, because flying bugs sound terrifying, but... Or maybe it's just Fenris, because I've noticed people only on Fenris getting them. So maybe they're currently a one planet thing. Maybe I'm on the wrong planet for them. I might have a little nosy after the stream, perhaps. Because I'm not going to flip-flop on categories again this stream. I'm going to stick with just chatting. Is it Fenris? Which one's the one that's like a lunar landscape? I forget now. It might be Fenris. Maybe that one. Maybe we won't see him for a bit then, because it's liberated on that one. Though, we'll have to see. I'd personally like another enemy type, though. Just because the bots can be okay to fight, but sometimes, I must admit, they're not always the most fun to fight. The bugs, obviously, are fine to fight, but sometimes I want to fight something new. So, the Illuminate would be quite nice. And I think in this game they'll be a bit nicer to deal with. But I think I might start looking at, obviously, that survey I did. Rebels would be interesting, honestly. They've hinted at Rebels a bunch. So a Rebel faction could be interesting. Nothing's been leaked yet about Rebels, but maybe they tightened the lid a bit on those. I could see Rebels coming down the line. It depends where they put the Illuminate, right? If it's dead center, they're just going to do 3 factions again. Or at least for this war, they're going to do 3 factions. But I think... Well, it depends what they want to do. They might just have us either win or lose this particular war. And then, you know, have the Illuminate turn up after. But the Rebels might not be a thing this war, but I reckon they might turn up. Traitor Helldivers could be interesting. The idea of Rebels, like, maybe they could be part of the same faction, have their own ships, you know. When you warp in, there's ship-to-ship fighting. So maybe the Rebels have their own call-ins they can pull out. You know, their own bombardments, their own, like, maybe they have like the vulture instead of the eagle, you know, or the condor, you know, their own bomber. They might try and deploy their own orbital assets. They might have like, their call-ins might bring Helldivers in by drop pod. And so maybe one of these side objectives would be turning on like anti-Hellpod sort of things. Like you could deploy really advanced AA guns that are intended to shoot down Hellpods. Or put up like balloon mines, like make it very likely for them to hit that. There is some precedent with this. The SAM turret. It's not an objective I see very often, but the SAM turret for the bots. When you activate it, it will actually shoot down bot drops. Or it will try to anyway. It's got a good long range too, so it's definitely, you know, precedent there. Oh yeah, personally, I think it'd be the Hive Lord. There's too many skeletons of it knocking around, and I reckon they've got the model somewhere. It's just not in game yet. But I feel like they're adding new bug types, so I feel like we're gearing up for encountering a Hive Lord. Because something's digging these tunnels, and there's far too many Hive Lord bones. So I'd like some kind of offshoot of a Hive Lord, or like just a full-on Hive Lord. Maybe they might make it a bit different to fit in with the other bugs. Like a big centipede kind of thing, rather than a worm. I don't know. But I mean, I'd be happy to fight the Terminated equivalent of a dune sandworm, personally. Guess we've not really pushed deep into bug territory, right? They keep pushing us back quite often. And the intent seems to be that we're to push them to the barrier worlds, kill them on the barrier worlds, and then leave the barrier worlds like a quadruple Cadia situation. Ooh, excuse me. But we'll see. We'll see with that. Obviously, when I did that survey, Monster Hunter World and Dragon's Dogma were quite wanted. So, not the Dragon's Dogma, Hunt Showdown, sorry, Dragon's Dogma wasn't even on there. Hunt Showdown, which I'll have to see how that plays with my model, because obviously if it doesn't play nice, I don't really want to run it. So I might do a stream of that, just to test, and then we'll see. After that, I'm thinking maybe something like, I don't know. World would be nice to go back to. I'd like to go back and finish that, so I might do some streams where I just casually grind the damn thing a bit. Just to like get my gear up. Maybe I will actually do Guiding Lands content, right? Just grind up monsters a bit and, you know, actually, you know, get back into the flow and get good again. We'll see. After that, it's not yawning, bloody hell. After that, though, I think Dragon's Dogma on the list 100%. The Stellaris update, I really want to do. Total War is on my mind too, but I don't know how that's going to play with stream. So we'll see. We'll see with that one. It might be okay. It might be a pain in the ass. I don't quite know what's going to be the deal with that one. But yeah. Other than that, obviously non-stream related content. Yeah, I've got some ideas in mind. Yeah, I've not played it much, honestly. But I really would like to play it again. I'll just have to see how it plays in the model. I might have to like adjust settings until it works nicely. I just hope it doesn't require me to lower the settings too much so it's unfun to look at. Because then it'd be kind of shit. And it wouldn't be worth it then. But even off stream I should play it more. I've not played it since update much. I did a little test, but I didn't get very far. But they've made the game like better now, and to credit where CA's, credit for CA where it's due, it's, in a better place. I'm curious what will happen after Thrones of Decay. I hope they'll do another 2 DLCs in the same format, but I could see them going back to Lord packs soon after if they don't go back before. What I'd like is for those two, do the 2 other DLCs in the same style of Throne of Decay, right? Then do Lord packs. I think the first Lord pack they'll do is the Monkey King, because they seem quite keen on hinting at him, and I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. There's definitely some high elf content coming as well, because I believe someone's been leaked as doing the Sea Lord of the High Elves. The guy's like the main admiral character of their fleet. As you may or may not know, the High Elves in Warhammer Fantasy have quite a extensive navy, so he's kind of like their lord. The older editions, there was like an army specifically for that. But like how Marafi's faction reflects this 6th edition Storm of Chaos version of her faction. I call it pleasure. With some Slaanesh mix in. That one was a bit more hardcore because that one had like Chaos Chosen, I think, instead of some of the more elite Dark Elf units. I wouldn't say no to like some Slaneshified Dark Elves as like elites for that faction. A Dark Elf update of some variety would be nice anyway. I am quite pleased, speaking of Warhammer, to see that Skaven might be the big bad for 4th edition. They might be getting the starter box treatment. I will not lie, I might buy that box if they're in it. I'm also quite interested in the Stormcast actually, because I'm really hoping the rumours about them being the like fucked up Stormcast are true. The ones have been reforged too many times. I'd actually quite like that, because I think I'd like to see, because there's a guy whose whole faction, his whole sub-faction, right, is taking Stormcast who are fucked up under his wing. And it's like, okay, where are those Stormcast? Because you can't tell me that the guys who don't take off the helmets. No. There has to be a reason it's bad, right? Noticeable reasons, surely. It's gotta, like, make a mess. Yeah, the guy who looks like a Dark Angel. He's riding the Red Dragon. That guy's faction's all about taking in, like, Stormcast that are fucked up. If I recall rightly. His entire, like, character arc, he had 2 models, in fact. That whole character arc where he's gone looking for the cure for reforging. And I find that quite interesting, and I hope that we get some Stormcast that have been reforged too many times. Like, the title of the trailer is Sigmar Lied, right? Now, yes, that could be about the Skaven, but I'm quite interested to see if that also is about the Stormcast. Because they get reforged too many times, they lose their humanity, and they eventually can't take off their helmets. Okay, show me that. Show me the Stormcast that reforged so many times that it's gone wrong. Because we know it goes wrong. We've never seen it. We only have it, like, talked about. I want to see, like, the dark side of the Stormcast that they don't like showing. They don't have to be evil, but just, like, the Stormcast that, they have is just really messed up. But we'll see. I don't know if it's something that's going to happen with that, but it'd be nice. This new Skaven that I've been hinted at are interesting as well. A new Vermin Lord as well. A more Scryer-orientated one. And it seems like there's going to be some Plague Monks updated. I think I've seen some about Eshin getting a little update. For their runners, I think. I hope their runners are getting updated. They're really old. They don't really look very good next to the Skaven. New Clan Rats. I kind of hope the Storm Vermin get an update. I don't want a situation like the Vampires, where the skeletons are updated, but then the Grave Guard haven't been. Because those guys they should look fancier, but they kind of look a bit meh next to the rest. That seems a good kit bashes though. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of things that can update, the Dark Oath have tempted me. I won't bite because the Dark Oath, as much as I like them, I want to kind of see if they do more with them. But I know a lot of people want that, so I hope the Dark Oath get a bit more to them. because the way I see it, the Dark Oath could be their own army, honestly. They won't be, but they could be. They've got their own aesthetic. And I think, personally, an army with its own aesthetic is, warranted for its own army. Because they look chaos, but they don't look too chaos. They're weirdly contained and subtle. Even their monster's pretty tame, right? I must admit, whoever's designing some of these like armies at the minute, or some of these like factions, like the Cities of Sigmar and the Dark Oath, they have their finger on the right pulse, and I want them to keep that way. Because I think Age of Sigmar does need some of those more normal, quote-unquote, looking units to look, to look kind of... It kind of biggins up the more wild stuff, right? Like, you can have your demigods... oh yeah, they're really cool. You have your demigods in golden armor, right? Dropping down in lightning, literal angels, yeah? That's fine. Have that. But let me see a normal human next to them. Let me see just a dude in a helmet, bit of armor, the shield, the sword. We have the Dark Oath that are, these barbarians that are like equivalents to them, right? They have their own riders. They've got their own, like, marauders. They've got their own leaders. They have a monster. Maybe they could have some kind of hunter unit that kind of, acts as a bit more of a ranged skirmisher unit. I would personally like a berserker or champion unit. That's if they're going to stay in Slaves of Darkness. What I'd like is for there to be a unit in between Chaos Warrior and Dark Oath Marauder. I doubt they'll do it because we already have Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors are cool, but I'd personally like a halfway point. I think that'd be interesting as like an elite unit, or I mean, obviously Dark Oath's gonna be like a cheaper front line, right? It's a cheaper battle line, but G-Dubs don't seem to like keeping chaff as chaff. Honestly, a mammoth would be cool. I kind of, that's why I want the Dark Oath to have their own faction, right? Give me like some kind of monstrous unit that they're mounted upon, like a mammoth. Give me like berserkers. Give me a champion, right? Some kind of like halfway between a Chaos Warrior and a Marauder, like I was talking about. Give me some kind of mage, and then they seem to have some like examples of mage adjacent or mages, so why not? Give me some kind of like priest kind of figure, and then just give me like a nice variety of units I can pick from. There's some interesting sub factions. Hell, maybe give me some like monstrous cavalry, like a more elite cav, and maybe give like say a mammoth or something big as like a centerpiece, yeah, something like that. And give me the option to put like a chieftain on top of it to lead the army, or for it to just be a big ramming beast. The chieftain on horse is pretty cool. Or the war steed, should I say? The horses, or war steeds as they call them in that, like they've got that like faceplate on, and they look brutal and dangerous. I really like that like half metal plate some of them got on their face, and like, or the full mask, like this snaring demon. But they're not demonic at all. Like the axe might have an engraving of Nurgle, but it's so subtle. It's not this green glowing axe with like obsidian all over it. It's just an axe with a Nurgle symbol etched into it, and I think that's really cool that it's so subtle. But whether they'll get their own army, I don't know. But I feel like Chaos could benefit from a Cities of Sigmar army. That's Dark Oath. Let them take a bunch of the monsters from Slaves of Darkness as well. Some more like random obscure monsters like the Centaur, or the or maybe something like the guy who throws big bricks at people. That guy, the big ogroid. I think it's an ogroid. Something like that. Or the cat, who was more exotic. or just make some new stuff. Honestly, the new monster, I think it's cool. I like how it all ties back. Like, it's kind of like a Chaos Spawn, but it's not. It's someone who failed the oath. It's like a punishment. Whereas the Chaos Spawn is less a punishment and more, they just kept chucking gifts at you and you couldn't take it. It's not inherently a punishment normally. It's more just you can't take the power that's being provided to you. So I like the idea that there's a difference between a Chaos Spawn and someone's been like, who's failed their oath. When his mouth is bigger than their actual skill. Someone who tried to be a Wolfric the Wanderer and failed. It's interesting as well, the Dark Oath seem to have at least a unique character, maybe two. With like the War Queen and Chieftain as like a generic HQs. I forget what the War Queen's gist is exactly. I don't think she's a named character, I think she's a generic character, so I don't know what her gist is. I've not looked into it, but I might do. I must admit, if they did get their own army, I'd be tempted to pick it up, because I like the aesthetic they're going for. I want more of it. Obviously there's like the Warcry stuff you can add into it. There's oh, what else is there? There's also a Underworld Warband too. So you've got some options, but I would like to see more units for them. Just a few more. Like, I may be pulling at straws here, but fuck it, give me Famir. If that's the only way I can get Famir, I'll take it, honestly. If the Dark Oath can bring Famir with them. Like, I'd love a Famir faction, preferably, but if that's the only way I can get Famir, I'll fucking take Famir that way. Obviously, Ogroids could also be put in there. Like, I'd love to make a list that's mostly Dark Oath focused, of like some monsters in there, like Ogroids to support them. As much as I love Chaos Warriors, and don't get me wrong, I fucking love Chaos Warriors. I like them more than Chaos Space Marines. Because frankly, I find Chaos Warriors cooler. There's no, oh woe is me, the Emperor turned against me. No, no, no. They were born into Chaos, raised into Chaos, molded by it. They didn't adopt Chaos normally. A lot of them were born into it. Some of them did. Most of them chose it. Because they were born into that. And they don't give a shit. It's like, no, I'm clad in Chaos Plate. I'm an immortal warrior, and I'm on the winning side. Because frankly, Chaos have already shown they can win. The only thing they haven't got is the semi-immortality of the Stormcast, and even that's questionable. The Stormcast. Ossiarchs might be getting something new too, which I hope they do. I hope to God they update that army, because they've been so screwed. They felt like such a big deal, right? They were the big army of death. They were this big, powerful, proud faction. Yeah, ranged weapon. I mean, it looks like they're getting some kind of like War Dog or War Cat, whatever you want to call it, or War Beast. But I'm hoping they actually get ranged, because they've shown they can have bows. Give them bows. If they can make trebuchets, I think they can make bows. So give them bows. Give them ranged. Yeah, they're elite. And I think they should stand out because of that. Like, if Tomb Kings can have bows because of, like, blessings from their gods, then why can't these guys who are fully, like, capable of fighters, and even their basic trooper is, like, better than the average soldier? Especially now we have an example of an average soldier. You know. It says something when the Flesh Eater courts have more ranged options than they do. I think they got the dragon and the Terrorgeist that screeches. So that's more ranged options there than the bloody Bone Reapers have. They have a catapult. Also, they haven't really got, like, they've got a cool centerpiece, like, main character, but they've not got, like, a cool centerpiece monster either. I feel like, you know, a big bone titan of some kind would make sense to me. They're all constructs anyway, so make a big bone titan. I don't know what things they could probably do with, honestly. Just kind of bows, a war beast, a fast war beast. That's a bit of a cheaper, like, harassing option. Be nice, which they hope they're getting. Hope. So we'll see. Hoping that's stuff they get, honestly. for them, honestly. I'm sure I'll think of something. I don't think they need a flyer, necessarily. Be interesting with a flyer, but I don't think they need one. Then again, they've got those big flying things, haven't they? So actually, I forget those big the Mortec. The Mortecs? No. I forget the big ones from the end times, like the undead angels Nagash brought with them. Them guys are part of the Ossiarch. Technically, they preempted them, but they're part of it. So maybe some more units to tie them in. That could definitely be an option. I mean, it makes sense to have a lot of premium stuff because they are Nagash's like thing, aren't they? Yeah, see you tomorrow, buddy. Have a good night. I'm probably gonna wrap up in a minute anyway. Seeing as it's almost time, but I'll go on for a bit longer, methinks. Yeah, have a good night, pal. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to our collab tomorrow, though. That'll be fun. I've missed Dawn of War 2. It's a very fun game, and frankly, it's real. It's one of those games I've been needing to go back and play. After playing Space Marine 2, I definitely think it's worth going back and doing that. Yeah, after that should also keep my Fridays with something interesting to do as well, because that'll take us a bit, I think. That will take us a little bit to actually get through. If we're doing just Friday, which we are, so that'll last a pleasant amount of time. And I think it'll be hopefully fun for everyone watching too. Obviously, I'll have to look for something after that, but I've got a long time. A long time. I definitely think after today, though, I want to do more of these kind of streams too, where I just sit there and let's do just less chatting on a Thursday. That might be quite nice. I was thinking doing 14, and maybe sometimes I'll do 14, but I feel like the chill streams are quite nice just to get things off my mind, talk. I think it'd be quite nice. This has been quite a therapeutic experience for me, and honestly, if I really wanted, I could start like painting something. I mean, I'd preferably like to have the camera on so you can see what I'm painting, if I do paint like a model or something, but if I can't get that working, at least I could maybe do that here. But, you know, I wish Nightbot would stop doing that. I don't know what you're trying to do, Nightbot, but it's very annoying. I'll figure you out at some point, though. I assume there's a command you're being activated on, and it's being funny. Maybe it's on the add-ins I've got. I did add a couple add-ins, so I'll have to look at that. But I don't want to do tech support things right now. Not at this hour. Thankfully, there's not an out of hours I have to do that. What I did discover, however, speaking of out of hours last week, I did discover that the person who does the approvals isn't fucking in this week. And I think the cutoff's tomorrow, so I ain't getting paid this month for that, which I'm not impressed about in the slightest. So I'll have to go out in April. Which is a bit bullshit, but hey, it is what it is, I suppose. God forbid a big company can't handle someone else bloody approving them, but whatever. God knows I'll never work for a company like that again, that's for sure. Don't want to say what kind of company, just I don't know if I've mentioned it on stream, but I don't want to mention it just in case. I doubt it docks me, but you never know. The less I say, the better on that one. Hopefully, the debacles of today aren't going to follow me tomorrow, because I heard there were some debacles. So hopefully, it's all kosher. But I must admit, it's been nice having today off. It's been a nice, relaxing one. And I feel like I've got some productive things done today. had a little nosy at various VTuber thumbnails, and I think I've got a rough idea of what I want to do for future stuff for that. Might mix up my thumbnails a smidge. I'm gonna have to sit there in front of the camera and do some, you know, various faces, but probably make my cheeks hurt from doing those faces for a while, but, you know, add a couple of these every so often or something, you know. Bit of this, maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some of this perhaps, and a bit of smug while I'm at it. And, you know, go for that, but obviously that'll be later on. I have to make sure I'm also get a bit, I say get good. Improve my basic skill set with photo editing, like with GIMP. Because if I don't have to pay for Adobe, I don't want to pay for Adobe. If I have to pay for Adobe, fine, I'll pay for Adobe. But I don't want to do it. Because obviously, if I did, I'd probably go as far as to pick up Premiere as well. Because I've heard a lot of good things about Premiere. But if I like to do a one-time payment, I don't like having to pay the license fees constantly for stuff, for monthly. I just prefer a one-time done sort of deal. I've got Vegas. Sony, you know, it's not Sony Vegas anymore. I keep saying Sony Vegas, but people always look at me funny with Vegas. You know, it's like it used to be called Sony Vegas, the editing software. I'm slowly starting to understand that I wouldn't say I'm an expert, not even close. Fucking hell. God, I'm getting tired. Ugh. Did I have a tongue one? Oh yeah. The tongue. I remember that exists. I always have it on my Stream Deck, but I forget it exists sometimes. But it is what it is. Crap my back a bit. Got to get out my seat in a bit and stretch, but it's fine, we're almost at time anyway. But no, I'm going to make a habit of doing these more, I think. I think that'd be quite nice to sit back, relax, and do a few more. I might make them just chatting streams. Might make them 14 streams, I don't know. I really do need an excuse to play 14 again. I'll do more off stream, but definitely just chatting. I'm going to do more of that. I think it's nice sometimes just to sit down and chat. You know, I'm seeing the appeal of it, if you got something to say, and maybe some days I might not, so I might play a game instead, but if I feel like I have something to say, fuck it, I might make this a day where I'll just go and say them, you know? Might do like a 7 till 10 sort of stream, maybe a half 7 till 10, I don't know. I'll figure something out. It won't be quite as early as today because I might not be in for 6:30. Potentially. I don't know. I can't guarantee it with the bus system and all that. I really can't. But we'll have to see, right? I think it's been a nice little stream though, just to, you know, blow off some steam. And, you know, I think just get some stuff out of my mind. I've been repeating myself a bunch, I apologise, but it's fine. We are very, very close to time, I think. So, I reckon we'll call it off here, as I'm still getting more tired and I don't think I've got much more intelligent to say, so I think we'll call it off here. I think it's been a good little stream, so I'd like to personally thank everyone who has been watching the stream. I appreciate not having the most entertaining of things. My apologies. But hopefully you like the stream of conscience stuff. Stream of consciousness stuff. And hopefully, you know, you had a good time. Nice little relax. I will try and make this more relaxing, I think, rather than doing 14. I probably won't label it relaxing if I'm doing 14, because, you know, it might be a little funny if I'm doing a harder content, like those raids. Okay, oh, my yawning's getting out of hand. Right, before I go into more yawning and getting more there, I'm going to call it here. So again, thank you everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure. I have been Baron Zarkobro. I will see you all tomorrow with my collab with JD Moss. I'd love to see you all there, and I hope you'll enjoy some Dawn of War 2. I know we certainly will. So, till then, ta-ta for now.